Hello fellow woodworkers, and welcome to this week's very Christmassy edition of the Garage Workshop. This week we're going to be looking at some Christmas gifts for woodworkers. Roll the intro. So, fellow woodworkers, if you're watching this channel, I am making the assumption that you enjoy watching woodworking videos on YouTube, just as I do. Like many of you, I spend a lot of my spare time looking at different channels and watching the content and picking up some ideas, and also just to improve my own skill level. Now, if you look out on YouTube, especially at the moment, you are going to find dozens of videos about things to buy woodworkers for Christmas, and that's essentially what this video is, but it's slightly different. I have gone for items that may not make it into more traditional videos, and I've picked items which to me have been the best items that I have used in the Garage Workshop this year. Now, as I'm filming this, it's the 26th of November. It's currently Black Friday in a lot of the shops and a lot of the online tool suppliers, including Amazon, ITS, B&Q, Screwfix. They've all got fantastic offers on, and they are well worth a look. Even though Black Friday might not be the massive deal maker that everyone says it is, you can still pick up some top quality bargains. In this video, I'm just going to pick a few items which are easy stocking fillers or slightly larger presents for the other person in your life. So follow along and let's start with the first item. So the first item on my Christmas buy list is one of these. Now, this is a respirator mask, and I've got two. This is the first one that I bought, and I'm not going to lie, it was the only one available. I bought it not long after I started the channel, just literally just as we'd gone in to COVID, and I think I got it, I'm pretty sure I got it from Wix. Now, it's a really, really comfortable mask, super comfortable. It's got twin filters on either side, and this served me very, very well for a while. The only thing I didn't like about this one is the plastic material, the rubber material, sorry, that it's made out of. If you wear it for a sort of long period of time, it does end up getting a little bit sweaty and a little bit uncomfortable, so not bad for an entry-level one. Now, this mask is made by Trend, and I bought this last year, very similar in construction, but this Trend one is much, much better than this. It's much better constructed, and as you can see, it's larger, and on the inside it's got two P3 rated filters. Now, you can actually clean these filters apparently. To be honest, I've never done it, and I've only actually changed them once in the time that I've had the mask, but a really, really good quality fitting mask. It's got multiple ways of adjustment, so it's got an adjustable top strap, and what I particularly like is the cross hook to secure it the other side. So in my opinion, that's a much, much better system, and it gives you a little bit more flexibility, whereas this one has just got a rubber strap. So although this isn't a bad mask, it's a nice entry-level one. The Trend in particular is a really, really nice mask. I'll put a link in the description of a couple of places you can buy it, but I do know that this is in Black Friday and on some online sites. I actually bought it in Black Friday last year, and I had it for quite a long time before I used it. But if you're in the market for a respirator mask, then this is something that I definitely recommend. And of course, if you're not using a respirator at the moment, please make sure you do. It's really important, particularly when you're cutting up wood like MDF and wood that's got a high particle content, because you'll know as well as I do, things hang around in the air. So my first recommended product is a respirator mask. Okay, so the next item that is in my list is this, storage, and I'm sure like many of you, you've got tons and tons of storage. I'm sure you're using, you know, old jam jars or margarine tubs. But for me this year, I've actually taken some time and invested money in the storage that I use around the Garage Workshop, and it has really, really helped. And for me, although I've got a sort of big space, it's very well cluttered. And for me, I don't have a huge amount of space to store things. So buying this storage has been a really important way of organising my workshop in a much better way. Now, I have put two here. The reason why I mentioned this DeWalt one, and it has been in my videos before, I mentioned it before, is these are generally on Black Friday sale everywhere at the moment. If you're a member of Costco, they've got a twin pack in Costco for about £26, I think. And you can also buy them in other places. I know in B&Q they have them reduced recently. So a really nice set of tubs. Now they do come in two sizes. This is the thinner one, and when you buy a double pack you'll get this, and then you tend to get the deeper one like so. So you tend to get the two of them in a set. But the reason why I mention them is, again, they are in the Black Friday sale at the moment in lots of different places, but you don't have to spend a lot of money on storage. This double-sided Parkside storage unit, which I bought recently, is also a fantastic little unit. It's completely up and down, it's two-sided, it's got movable places to change all the configurations however you want to have it laid out, either bigger or smaller, and it flips upside down, and you've got exactly the same storage on the other side. Now these aren't currently in store, but they come round really frequently. I think I bought these in about August, and they were in the sale about 2 weeks ago, so they do come around frequently. And again, you can never have too much storage. So my second recommendation is some nice quality storage. Now the third item that I am recommending this Christmas, you've probably all got one of these in your workshops, and it's just a common or garden square. But the difference with this one, and again this is something that I bought on Amazon, it's made by Wolfcraft, but the difference with this one is the lines that it's got in it. It's absolutely fantastic for marking lines in pieces of wood that are exactly the same distance apart. It's also got a built-in sort of protractor on that one side, and it's got lots and lots of different slots. And it's also includes a really tough, rigid plastic edge. Now, I've got a couple of these, and I generally find after I've dropped them on the floor a couple of times, the metal ones, they tend to sort of bend and stuff. This one is absolutely impervious to damage. I must have dropped this at least 20 times, never had an issue. It's got a really nice, straight, hard plastic edge on it, and it is a really handy piece of kit. And you've probably seen in my other videos, this is my go-to tool. Now, it was not cheap, I'm not gonna lie. It was about £16.95, I think, and I bought it a little bit of time ago, so it may well have gone up by now, but it is an absolutely great piece of kit. And if you're in the market for one of these, I can't recommend this Wolfcraft one highly enough. A really nice piece of kit, really well made, very sturdy, and it gives you really straight lines every time. Okay, so the next item in my stocking filler Christmas buy list is a pair of these ear defenders, common or garden ear defenders, and these are made by 3M. They're called the Peltor ear defenders, and you will have seen me wear these hundreds of times in all of my videos, and very much like the respirator mask, a really important part of kit. Now, I know there are lots and lots of YouTube channels at the moment that are being sponsored by companies that provide headphones and things like that. Now, personally, my own personal feeling, I don't like those. I just like to block out the sound of the machinery. I don't like to be too distracted, because I think that can sometimes be unsafe. But these are absolutely fantastic, and when you put them on, they do block out the large majority of the sound. Not all of it, and I think it's important that they don't, but they do block a lot of it out. Now, these are, I actually bought these from Aldi when they had a sale on DIY sound. Obviously, they're not made by Aldi, they're not made by Workzone, they're made by 3M, and they were £7.99, and the best investment without doubt I've made in any of my bits of safety equipment. If you haven't got them, or if you've got another option that you're currently using, these are also in the Black Friday sale on a lot of online sites at the moment. And again, they do come round in Aldi quite often, much like the Parkside storage that I was talking about. I've seen these 2 or 3 times recently. They're a fantastic stocking filler as well. Not expensive, but really high quality for the money that you pay for them. I know you can spend a lot of money on ear defenders. You know, you can spend £20, £30 above. but a nice bargain option and something that's well worth having. And if you haven't got a set of ear defenders and you've got either a table saw or a mitre saw, then please can I ask you to invest in them, because really, really important. So the next item, a pair of ear defenders. Okay, so the next item in the list is not really directly related to woodworking at all, although it is, and it is this. It's a set of, I presume they're called hex bolts, but it's basically a socket set for using with coach screws. Now this Makita one is brand new and they're very, very stiff to get out, but as you can see on the end, it's basically like a socket set. Hopefully you can see that. And I have used these in quite a lot of my projects. And the reason that I use them is if I've got a threaded bolt, or if I'm using a hex type of bolt or a screw, I will use these. And in sort of standard sets, you don't always get them this big. I mean, this set is absolutely fantastic. The smallest one is 13mm and it goes all the way up to 24. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, oh, being a Makita set, it will be expensive, but actually it was really, really reasonably priced. This, I think it was something like £17, which isn't a huge amount of money for what you're getting. I have got another set of these. I got them from Aldi a long time ago, not as big, and I have to say, when I'm using them, I find they slip quite a lot. These are brilliant, a really nice set, and not something that potentially you think, oh, you know, I need that, but certainly when I'm building units and I'm putting casters on the bottom, the size of the bolt that goes in those is usually quite big, and I've used this for quite a few things. And the sides that are in this particular box, you've got a 13mm, a 17, a 19, a 21, a 22 and a 24, and you've also got a bolt connector, a connector that allows you to fix it to most drills. So this obviously goes in the end like so, and then the opposite end connects to any screwdriver, you know, drill, anything like that. So a really good set, not something, as I said, that you think potentially you might need, but I have used it so many times in the garage workshop, it has been well worth the money. And again, not really being that expensive, it's a really nice set to have. So the next item that also makes a good stocking filler, if you've got a relatively big stocking, is one of these. Now this is made by Parkside, but you can get these made by lots of different companies. There's loads and loads of these on Amazon and in other places, and it is literally exactly what it says. It's a magnetic strip holder, and I use these. I've got them dotted in lots and lots of places around the garage workshop. I've got some that are made by sort of generic manufacturers. I've got some Parkside ones, I've got some Workzone ones from Aldi, and I've got them basically in lots of different places where I just want to store metal things. Now these have got a huge amount of capacity. You really wouldn't think they are very strong, but I'll put a little video up here of a couple of the ones I've got on the wall and what's on them, but they literally will hold anything. And the good thing about them, whichever way around you put them up, by the way, the good thing about them is they don't lose their magneticness. I've had mine on the wall since the garage workshop pretty much started. They've moved around quite a few times, and I've had them on the wall for quite a long time, and they are just as strong as they were the first day. And as I say, you know, I've got a lot of things hanging from these, and I've never had any issue. And the other good thing about these, they're really cost effective. They're very cheap. These Parkside ones are £2.99 for, you know, it's quite a chunky little piece of kit, this. They also do some little trays that you can put your screws in, a bit like a mechanic would use, but I've used them in the workshop quite a lot. But if workshop storage is, or space for storage is something that you've got an issue with, these are well worth it, and you can get a lot of screwdrivers on them. As I said, my ones are pretty much jam-packed with screwdrivers, but at such a low cost and providing so much flexibility in terms of storage, I think they're well worth it. Okay, so the next item in the stocking filler list might seem a bit obvious, but it is this, an LED light. Now, when I wanted to buy a light, the reason I bought it, like many of you I'm sure, is if you're looking through things, through drawers, and if you've got not great lighting, and to be honest, the light in the garage workshop isn't fantastic, but if you have those things, this is a really nice solution. Now, this one in particular, I bought it off Amazon, and I did a search for the highest rated, average rated LED lamp that was on there that was in my price range. This lamp was actually $12.99, and it's a really, really lovely piece of kit. Now, what I like about it most is its functionality. So at the top, it's got a little hanger if you would like to hang it, but to be honest with you, most of the time I just use the handle to hang it, which folds down flat. It's super, super bright. It's a USB charged one. It doesn't have any batteries or anything like that. Well, it does, but obviously they're in it. You don't replace batteries, and it is really, really nice. It's very bright. It's got a lot of functionality. So when you turn it on, obviously it has the light, the main light, and then if you turn it again, it has this function, which actually has a huge amount of light. I'm just going to turn the main garage lights off so you can see how bright it is. I appreciate I've still got the ring light on, but as you can see, a very, very bright torch. And it's got other functions, and if you press it again, it turns red. I think that's a sort of health and safety thing, and it also flashes. So a really, really good light, and I've used it tons, and you've probably seen it in videos when I've been making different things. If I've needed a light, this is what I've used. So well worth it. There's tons and tons of lights on the market, but this is well worth it. Okay, so the next item might seem really basic and really obvious, and I'm sure everyone watching this channel has got at least one, if not probably 3, 4, 5 different hammers. I've picked this particular hammer. This is a pin hammer, and the reason why I've picked this as an item is I've done quite a lot of jobs in the garage workshop this year where I've used nailers, and as you know from watching my videos, I do have a bit of a problem with my airstrike nailer, my Ryobi airstrike nailer, where it's double shooting nails. Now, this hammer from Parkside is incredibly well constructed. It's got a hickory handle, and just in case you can't tell, they've written the word hickory in it, nice and big. It's got a hickory handle, and it's got a really solid head. Now, whenever you buy a hammer, the issue is always how it is connected. Now, how they've done it on this one is they've obviously put a hole in the top and then put in a metal, it's sort of like a sleeved, I don't really know the best way to describe it. It's like a sleeved tube, and it's driven in, and it's almost sort of pushed the wood out. It's not split, but you can see how it's in there, and I've used it lots and lots and lots. And the best thing about this hammer, they come up really often in the Parkside sales. The best thing about this hammer is it's only $5.99, and in fact it's so good, I'm not gonna lie, I bought 2 of them. Not that I ever hammer simultaneously with 2 different hammers, just in case this one broke. I bought a second one, an auxiliary backup hammer. You never have too many hammers, but it is really, really worth it. So it's also got a pointed end where my claw hammer obviously doesn't, and my club hammer obviously doesn't, but I've used it a lot. It's very, very strong, and it's got a really nice action, and when you're hitting with it, you don't get a huge amount of vibration up the shaft of the hammer, but a really, really nice product. And if you're in the market for one, you don't just have to buy the Parkside one, you can buy them anywhere, but a really, really nice addition and well worth buying. Okay, so the next item, and this is a top quality stocking filler, and if you're lucky enough to get things like this in your stocking, then I would like to move in with you. This is the Tight Bond original wood glue. Now, this is an American product, I believe. You can buy them everywhere now. You can buy them on Amazon, you can buy them in lots and lots of different places. This is, without a shadow of a doubt, the best wood glue that I have ever used. If you watch this channel a lot, you'll have seen me use this on tons and tons of projects. I'm not saying that this wood glue is better, you know, I'm not an expert. I'm not saying it's got a better chemical balance, or, you know, it achieves a stronger hold, or it'll have more newtons of. I'm not telling you anything like that. From my own personal use, I love this glue, and it sticks the wood superbly, and I've used a lot of different products before I found this one, and when I bought it I was a little bit nervous because it is significantly more expensive than a lot of other projects, and I know a lot of YouTubers use Tight Bond, and I know a lot don't use it for that reason, but for me, It's a great product. Now, I've got this in a few different sizes. So I've got this, I've got my one that I'm currently using. This is 16 fluid ounces. Obviously, being American, it's fluid ounces. That's just under 500. This one is 32, so double the size, just under a litre. But they also make wood glue specific for projects. Now, this ultimate wood glue, the Type Bond 3, this is specifically designed for outdoor projects, and although I have not used this one yet, I've got friends that have used it and said it's absolutely fantastic. So all of the Type Bond glues, really good. And as I said, I know they're not the cheapest, but they're also well worth the investment of money. I think this one I bought on Amazon at the beginning of the summer, I think it was, and it cost me $11.99. This one, which is double the size, was $19.99. I haven't actually checked to see if they're in the Black Friday anywhere, but I cannot recommend this glue enough. It's absolutely fantastic. So if you're in the market for some, or if you just want to give it a go, personally, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Okay, so we're at the end of strange and unusual gifts for woodworkers. Now, I hope some of this was useful, and there's something here potentially that you picked up on that you hadn't considered, either being a present or a stocking filler, and hopefully it's slightly different to the other videos that you may have seen on YouTube about different things to buy for people for Christmas. If this is your first time at the Garage Workshop, please can I ask you to subscribe, like, comment and hit the notification bell. I absolutely am overwhelmed with the amount of support the channel has had. I think at the time of filming this we're on just over 600 subscribers, which is amazing. I've got lots of videos in my back catalogues, some of which just don't go very well, but please look at them, and don't forget to pass it on to anyone that you know. If you're a regular subscriber, I just want to give a big shout out to all of those of you that are watching my videos every week, giving me tons and tons of positive feedback, picking out loads of things that I'm doing wrong and giving me some amazing advice. So thank you so much. And again, regular viewers, please can I ask you to like and comment. It means a lot to YouTube. I don't know why, but it does. That's the end of this week's video. I hope there's something here that you can use in the future, and I'll catch you on next week's episode of the Garage Workshop. Take care, fellow woodworkers.